All right, it's March 9th, 2026. It's 4 a.m. And I'm try to do a video here, just trying to help people out like other people all over this internet space, YouTube, whatever. I'm retired, 50 years old, male, hetero, love women. Anyway, as we know that things seem to be challenging for the dating space right now. Obviously, I'm in it. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is my opinion. These are my opinions only, If you, rock with me, that's cool. I'm just going to give you some data points, like Rollo Tomassi said. Love Rollo, rational male. He said he just connected the dots. And he's right, Connect the dots. I'm going to put out some facts and connect the dots. If that works for you. Trust me, I think it will. But anyway. So we see a lot of these TikTok videos of women, saying what they want and how they want $1 million from a guy. He has to make $1 million. He has to be 6'5". He has to have, a 10-foot eggplant, and, do it to her like a porn star. Otherwise she ain't, and she's a 3. We understand that, right? And I will tell you this, women are masters of image and reputation control, right? They have that public face. They are going to, it's a feature, not a bug, okay? If anyone knows the Kamrat case in Pakistan, where she was, let's just say, raped by more than one man at 13, in that culture, she is now an outcast because she is not a virgin. She may be killed by one of her family members. She's not a virgin. So why do you think women want to protect their reputations? Similar in many cultures, not to that extent. But anyway, that's why you're not going to get the truth from women in public. Don't think you will. However, what I'm going to do is, and that's the 4th largest city in the United States. I work for their police department, by the way. That's what I'm retired from. 22 years. What you're gonna, where you can get the truth or connect some dots is criminal court cases. That's where I found a lot of truth about women. And maybe you can connect some of the dots I did, okay? I'm gonna talk about cases, certain cases. And you're gonna see some of the same things arising. Same patterns, And so first case I want to talk about is, I don't know if anyone's heard of the Monica Cementelli case out in California, LA. She was convicted, sentenced to life in prison just recently, last year, for conspiracy to murder her husband of 20 years, Fabio Cementelli. Seemed like an awesome dude. She had her current boyfriend at that time, who she was having an affair with. He was a racquetball instructor at the LA Fitness, apparently. And she had him stab him 7 times in his backyard of their house. They planned it together, according to the facts in court. And yeah, she needed him out of the way, I guess, for lack of a better term, and got it done. Afterwards, she had on her Instagram, that's kind of where I started looking at it. Her Instagram was very, very grief-ridden about her, sudden passing of her husband. And, God, she was beside herself, right? That was on Instagram. So, we all know Instagram is true, right? Everything on Instagram is true, right? Believe all women on Instagram, right? Well, apparently she was hanging out with Robert Baker, the murderer. DNA found at the scene. And he later pled guilty to it. He's now serving a life sentence without possibility of parole for the murder. And they were going up to Las Vegas having a grand time. So it's like, whoa, what's up with that? Your Facebook, your Instagram says one thing, but, you going up to Las Vegas, and they were getting into like swingers lifestyle, and they were numerous, sexting pictures and stuff like that. And In fact, he was invited to the memorial service um, uh, right after the funeral. He was invited by her to the house. Family members quickly kicked him out, I mean, but these are facts, gentlemen, that, and Fabio was an awesome dude. He was a VP executive of a big corporate company, making good money, had $1 million home. They had a housekeeper. They had 2 children, Jessica and Isabella. And unfortunately, you hear the 911 call. Isabella had to. Seems that it was planned that she was going to have to find Fabio, and she did. And it's a horrible call. And that was designed by Mr. Baker and Miss Sementelli. Yeah. So you're either number 1 or number 0 in a woman's life. You're either a hero or a 0, right? And we all probably want to be the hero, right? So Fabio had just bought a Porsche. By the way, Robert Baker stole that during the murder. They later sold it, and Monica bought the killer a new Mustang with the proceeds from that. And they were, having this vibrant, apparently, vivacious, let's say, romantic lifestyle. Robert Baker was a former porn star, also a felon, had to register in a registry, you have to register in those. If you do things to maybe people of a young age, let's all figure that out, right? The horrible, right? That's who she's dating. Fabio, a VP, super nice guy, family loves him. 2 awesome daughters, living in a $1 million house in LA, with driving a Porsche, great friends. They testified for him. Robert Baker, kicked out of the army, porn star, broke, but he was the one that was lusted after, desired, and at that time was getting the best of Monica. I'm not saying, connect the dots, right? We know alpha C, beta need, right? I think, gentlemen, if you can decide which one you want to be, look like Fabio, awesome, like I said, seems like awesome dude. He seemed to be the beta need. Women don't seem to appreciate that as they do the alpha C. Just saying, connect the dots. So that going forward is, I think, the choices men are gonna have to make. You need to be beta need. My father was beta need, awesome dude, but my mom didn't work. My dad provided for us, family of 5, 3 kids, brother, sister, mother, father, and my mom appreciated that, right? And it gave my dad a little bit, authority, control, right? But these days it doesn't seem to be working, because women are attracted to money, in my opinion, what I see. But they're not aroused by money. And if you want to have a woman's heart, their soul, like they say, you're going to need to be the alpha seed. You have to be, your leverage is going to be their desire for you, right? That desire to want to, get with you, right? They don't want to lose that, So, if, and Red Pill says money, power, status, right? Money, power, status, or whatever. Or looks, money, status, sorry. If money is status, or this important thing, right? Then Fabio had it in spades. And I'm going to have more criminal cases that connect the dots. It's going to be a similar story. Guy's going to make a ton of money, and the woman's going to leave him, going to have an awesome house, awesome lifestyle, and he's going to be left for a loser, that we would consider maybe. But the alpha seed part, we don't know as men. We don't know what that's like for a woman. That's what women are drawn to. That's what they're biologically, instinctually drawn to, right? What they feel. They feel that. They can like money all they want, you know? But, great, she likes you. That's why you have sexless marriages, you know? I'll get you a house, get you a car, get you this, get you that. Oh, I like this guy. You don't want to be liked. You want to be desired. Okay, so if looks, money, and status were the keys, then Monica would have been like, hey, Robert Baker, nah, man. I ain't taking you to Vegas. I ain't buying you a car. I ain't buying, nah. My husband, who's a VP, you know, house, $1 million house with a housekeeper. She drove a brand new F-150, nice truck. It was on video at the, I think, a local Target while the murder was going down, because she couldn't be at the murder. You know, she had to be shopping during the murder. You know, you don't want to be at the location. But she did come home 9 minutes later, you know. But anyway, so that's the point. The point is that the Porsche, the $1 million house in LA, the housekeeper, the 20-year marriage, the 2 children they lovingly and seem to be awesome girls they raised together. That should be what, you know, money and status, that should be what keeps you together, right? But it doesn't. They don't. They're so detested by the beta need. Some women, they are disgusted. They love the alpha seed. The racquetball instructor, broke former porn star felon, was way better than the beta need Fabio, who was clearly an accomplished man. So that's basically, you know, I guess what I'm going to talk about here in this first one. I'm going to talk about talk about another case, and I'll just get a preview. It happened in Florida. Denise Miller, her husband, made about $200,000 a year, was killed by his best friend because she was having sex with a best friend. She had the money and the status, but the guy was complaining to the guy who was actually having sex with his best friend. Denise Miller's husband was murdered. His best friend did it, and he was the one having sex with his wife, and he was the one complaining to her about being in a sexless marriage. Look it up. So you want to be bait and need, complaining to your friends about sexless marriage and your murder being planned for you? I'm just saying that the dots, I connect the dots. That's another case. I'll bring it up. I'll talk about it maybe tomorrow. But that's when I'm gonna start. There's gonna be more cases. This first one, just kind of riffing here. Hopefully it helps somebody, whatever. If anyone watches it, 2 people maybe. I don't know, man. Just walking around. You know, I don't know if you can see. But like I said, we'll leave it here for now, and hope you learn something from this, and we'll go further. But criminal cases is where these women were not planning to be public. Their lives, their stories, the masks that they wear, the public masks that they wear are not on. So you can view how women acted in real time. Their lives were made public, and they did not intend that to happen. So watch how they moved. Don't watch TikTok where they're rage baiting you, where they're farming for content, where they're trying to make up stories to, you know, the way you get people to watch on whatever. I don't need money, so whatever. So I don't need to rage bait it, you know. But the way you get people to watch and engage is to piss them off. So that's what they do. If you're getting pissed off at these TikTok videos, they're making you dance. Laugh at them. Laugh at them. They're ridiculous. But criminal court cases, I'm gonna keep going with these. There's tons, and the same things will happen. Anyway, that's where I'll leave it today. Talk to you later.